You're not here by accident. You felt it, that fracture point where the world's script turned to ash in your hands. That moment when the noise drowned out your soul, and you realized their rules were chains disguised as promises. You're not lost, you're breaking free. Welcome to the Sigma male community, where we don't bend to the chaos, we rise above it. This isn't about fitting in, it's about forging your own damn path. Today we're tearing into the 11 signs that Sigma males are stepping into their villain origin story, and how they seize it with both hands. This isn't about destruction, it's about liberation. Buckle up, because your so-called villain era is where you stop betraying yourself and start owning your power. 1. The Betrayal Crucible. When a Sigma faces betrayal, it's not a stab in the back, it's a furnace that hardens him. Trust isn't something he hands out like cheap flyers. It's a rare gem carved from his core, offered only to those he deems worthy. When it shatters, there's no outburst, just a deafening silence as illusions collapse like a house of cards in a storm. He doesn't waste tears, he lets the wreckage fuel a new kind of clarity, where sentimentality burns away and discernment takes root. Betrayal doesn't crush him, it refines him into something sharper, colder, unbreakable. This is where the Sigma learns trust isn't a handshake, it's a battlefield pact. He stops expecting loyalty as a default and starts demanding it as a proven commodity. Relationships morph into calculated alliances, each one weighed for its worth in integrity and strength. The warmth he once offered recedes, leaving behind a landscape of steely resolve that others misread as bitterness. But he's not bitter. He's awake, tasting reality unfiltered for the first time. Here he sharpens his senses, turning betrayal into a masterclass in human nature. He reads people like an open book, every glance, every word, every hesitation dissected for truth. This isn't paranoia, it's precision, a shield forged from the fires of past naivety. He channels the stoic truth that others' actions are beyond his control, but his response is his kingdom, and he rules it with an iron grip, building a self-reliance that no one can breach. In the end, this crucible doesn't just temper the Sigma, it makes him anti-fragile. He doesn't merely recover, he evolves, each scar a stepping stone to a higher plane. Betrayal becomes his teacher, not his tormentor, and he owns it by crafting a life where dependence is a ghost and strength is his currency. The world can keep its whispers, he's too busy forging an empire of one. 2. Emotional alchemy, pain to protocol. The Sigma doesn't bleed for the crowd anymore, he's traded that for a mind like a steel trap. Emotions don't vanish, they're locked up, grilled for every ounce of insight they can yield. Anger becomes a spark to ignite action. Grief turns into the ink for his next plan. Every encounter is a chess move, silence scouts the board, words strike with intent. What looks like frost to others is a machine humming at peak efficiency, turning raw feeling into raw power. This alchemy isn't about shutting down, it's about redirecting the current. He knows emotions are a force, chaotic if left wild, unstoppable when tamed. Pain isn't a burden to carry, it's a signal to decode, a resource to mine. He audits every pang, asking what it reveals, how it can serve, until it's no longer a storm but a tool, sharp, precise, and his to command. Mastery here means efficiency, not erasure. He's not numb, he's strategic, flipping the script on chaos with a calm that cuts deeper than any shout. This is mental judo, every emotional hit redirected into momentum, every wound a lesson in control. He lives the stoic creed that the mind is the true battleground, and he's not losing an inch of it to impulse or regret. By owning this, the Sigma stands unshaken where others falter. Life's turbulence doesn't sway him, it fuels him. He's the captain of his soul, steering through hell with a steady hand, because he's turned his inner fire into a forge instead of a wildfire. This is his edge. Emotion doesn't own him. He owns it, and that's power no one can strip away. 3. The Rejection Ignition. A no doesn't stop a Sigma, it lights his fuse. Whether it's a slam door in love, work, or the social game, he doesn't crumple, he accelerates. While others limp away licking wounds, he feels the click of a loaded chamber. Rejection isn't defeat, it's rocket fuel. He retreats to his proving ground, lifting iron, cracking books, building something unbreakable, and turns not enough into a war cry of watch me. This isn't about proving them wrong, it's about proving himself right. Every denial is a dare, a chance to flex his grit and rewrite the story. He thrives on the Stoic wisdom that obstacles are just tests of will, and he's acing every one. That no becomes the pulse in his veins, driving him to craft empires where others see dead ends. In his workshop, rejection morphs into creation. He channels that sting into sweat, that dismissal into discipline, until the glow of mediocrity hardens into the blaze of mastery. The world's refusal becomes his raw material. He sculpts it, welds it, makes it bow. Each rejection carves his silhouette deeper, a shadow that looms larger with every step forward. Owning this means flipping the script on validation. The Sigma doesn't need their applause, he's his own judge, jury, and king. He takes the hit, turns it into heat, and forges a life that screams sovereignty. Rejection isn't his kryptonite, it's his origin spark, and he's burning brighter than ever. For shadow work in the void. Night isn't downtime for a Sigma, it's his war room. While the world scrolls into oblivion, he dives into the depths of his own mind, slicing through failures like a surgeon, not to mourn but to map them. This is no pity party, it's a data heist pulling every lesson from the dark. He faces his shadows not to flinch but to enlist them, turning the void into a forge where weakness becomes steel. The void strips away the noise, no screens, no chatter, just him and the raw truth. Here, pain isn't a ghost to banish, it's a code to crack, a power to harness. Trauma? That's just intel for the next fight. He partners with the abyss, using its silence to sharpen his edges, emerging not fixed but fused, a new breed, armored in self-awareness. This is Stoic reflection dialed to 11. He doesn't shy from the mirror, he stares it down, demanding answers. Every flaw, every fall, it's all fuel for the climb. The world calls it brooding, he calls it building, crafting a mind that's a fortress and a weapon rolled into one. Owning the void means the Sigma doesn't just survive his darkness, he thrives in it. He's not running from the past, he's recruiting it, turning every scar into a badge of command. What emerges is a man who knows himself inside out, unshakable because he's already wrestled the worst and won. This is his power. The abyss isn't his enemy, it's his ally. 5. Anti-tribe formation. Sigmas don't flock, they reign solo. The word we gets torched from their vocabulary, replaced by a relentless audit of every bond. Blood, history, titles, none guarantee a pass. Loyalties earned through actions, not nostalgia. He builds a castle of solitude, not to hide but to guard his signal, picking allies like rare blades, sharp, useful, and disposable if they dull. This isn't about cutting people out, it's about cutting the fat. He's not lonely, he's selective, curating a circle so tight it's almost a dot. The Stoic truth hums in his bones. Dependence is a chain and he's no one's prisoner. His anti-tribe isn't a wall, it's a launch tower propelling him past the herd's gravity. Every no to the crowd is a yes to his mission. He doesn't need a chorus. He needs clarity, and he finds it in the quiet of his own counsel. Allies aren't friends, they're assets chosen for their weight in a fight, not their warmth at a table. This curated power radiates a pull that others feel but can't touch. Owning this means the Sigma stands alone and likes it that way. He's not swayed by guilt trips or groupthink. His compass is internal, his kingdom self-made. The tribe might cage others. He uses its absence to soar, proving strength isn't in numbers but in the unbreakable will of one. 6. Rule breaking as revelation. The Sigma doesn't bend rules, he shatters them into dust. The 9 to 5 grind? A soul-sucking trap. Fake smiles? A war on his spirit. He doesn't rebel for kicks, he walks away, torching the playbook to light his own way, ditching dead-end jobs, fading out leeches, turning passions into profit. Rules are for sheep. He's a wolf who sees through the masquerade. This secession isn't reckless, it's surgical. He spots the lie. Systems built to herd, not to free. With Stoic clarity he questions everything, keeping what works and burning the rest. He crafts his own game, side hustles, secret networks, untouchable influence, proving defiance isn't chaos, it's genius with a purpose. Breaking free lets him breathe, think, create. He's not bound by clocks or courtesy, so he builds where others beg. The world's blueprint is a cage, his is a canvas painted with bold strokes of independence. Every rule snapped is a revelation, a step closer to a life that's his alone. Owning this means the Sigma doesn't just survive, he redefines. He's not here to fit, He's here to forge, showing the herd what's possible when you stop bowing and start breaking. His path isn't loud rebellion, it's quiet revolution, and it's unstoppable. 7. The Silence Doctrine. Words are for the weak. The Sigma trades in silence. He doesn't explain his exits, announce his shifts, or justify his cuts. Why bother? Talking waters down his will, gives others a crack to wedge into. His quiet is a force, swallowing drama like a void, leaving the world scrambling for footing while he's already gone. This isn't rudeness, it's strategy. Every plea for answers bounces off. Every rumor dies in the dark. Silence is his shield and his blade, letting him move unseen, strike without warning. The stoic calm he wields isn't passive, it's a storm held back, a power that grows in the hush. When he acts, it's final, no preamble, no apology. The world chokes on its own noise while he glides through, untouchable. His silence unnerves because it's absolute, a black hole that pulls in chaos and spits out control. He doesn't need to shout, his moves scream for him. Owning this means the Sigma masters the unspoken. He's not dodging accountability, he's dodging distraction, keeping his energy pure and his intent clear. In a world that begs for chatter, his quiet is his crown, a testament to a man who answers to no one but himself. 8. Detached Dominance. The Sigma doesn't grab power, he projects it. He doesn't bark orders or clutch at control. He shapes the game from the shadows, a grandmaster moving pieces without a sound. His presence shifts the air, not with flash but with a certainty that bends the room. Respect isn't demanded, it's harvested, disrespect vanishing into the ether. This is dominance without chains. He doesn't need to leash people. He commands the field they stand on, steering outcomes with a flick of intent. Competitors swing at ghosts while he's already won, 3 steps ahead. It's not trickery, it's physics, a pull so natural they don't even feel it. Stoic strength fuels this quiet reign. He leads by being, not by shouting, his calm a beacon in the storm. Others turn to him not because he asks, but because he's solid when they're sinking. His influence is in Alpes, not grabs, building trust through action, not words. Owning this means the Sigma rules without ruling. He's not here for applause or crowns, he's here to win silently, decisively. His power isn't loud, it's deep, a current that shifts tides while the surface stays still. That's his edge, victory without a fight. 9. Resource hoarding, time, energy, focus. Time isn't free for the Sigma, it's his empire. He guards it like a vault, slashing away small talk, screen traps, and soul-draining clingers. Every yes is a calculated risk, every no, a brick in his wall. He pours his reserves into skills that stack, fighting, trading, pondering the unknown, because waste is weakness. This isn't stinginess, it's supremacy. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a recharge for the war ahead. Solitude? That's his lab where ideas harden into weapons. While others leak their worth chasing likes, he stockpiles his in a fortress of self, every second a bullet saved for the real fight. Stoic discipline drives this hoard. He knows his resources are finite, so he spends them where they compound, not where they vanish. Distractions are the enemy, focus is the ally, and he's ruthless about who gets a piece of him. His life's a machine tuned for impact, not applause. Owning this means the Sigma turns scarcity into strength. He's not stretched thin, he's coiled tight, ready to strike when it counts. The world can fritter away its days. He's building a legacy with every breath, proving that true power lies in what you keep, not what you give. 10. The Villain's Paradox. They call him dark for dodging their dance, cold for not crying on cue, but that's the lie they tell themselves. His villainy is pure, unfiltered truth, a mirror they can't face. You hate my freedom because you love your cage. He's not here to ruin. He's here to rise, turning their labels into a throne he sits on with pride. This paradox is his strength. Society paints him as the bad guy because he won't play their game, but he flips it. Authenticity isn't evil, it's electric. He doesn't bend to their guilt or grovel for their nods. He stands tall, owning the stoic fire that burns through their illusions. The villain tag? He wears it like armor, a badge of his break from the herd. They see destruction. He builds freedom, brick by unapologetic brick. Their fear is their shadow, not his truth, and he wields it to cut through the noise. This isn't collapse, it's conquest of the self. Owning this means the Sigma turns their script inside out. He's not the monster they want, He's the man they can't be, living raw and real. His power lies in that defiance, a middle finger to the masks they cling to. He's the villain they need, not the one they deserve. 11. Legacy over likability. The Sigma doesn't chase claps, he carves his mark. His gaze pierces past the chatter, past the trends, past his own heartbeat, locked on something eternal. He crafts systems, ideas, worlds that echo when he's dust, letting likability bleed out as collateral. Every cut, every step, every choice is a stroke on a canvas that outlasts the noise. This isn't about fame, it's about force. He trades fleeting hugs for lasting waves, building not for today but for the marrow of tomorrow. Stoic vision guides him. Virtue isn't in smiles but in what stands when the crowd's gone. His monument isn't stone, it's the shift he ignites in those who see it. Ruthless? Sure, but it's purpose with teeth. He doesn't soften edges or beg for love. He etches truth, deep and jagged, into the fabric of time. The world can keep its fleeting likes. He's after impact that ripples through centuries, a name whispered not in awe but in reckoning. Owning this means the Sigma becomes inevitable. He's not here to be liked, he's here to be remembered, a force that shapes the game long after he's left the board. His legacy is his proof, his victory, his roar. I was here, I mattered, and I changed it all. This isn't a villain's tale, it's a king's awakening. The Sigma doesn't crumble, he sheds the weight of a world too small for him. His shadows don't swallow him, they birth constellations, guiding him to a throne only he can claim. Own it, brothers, this is your story, your fire, your fight. You're part of the Sigma male community where we don't just preach strength, we live it, breathe it, bleed it. Hit that subscribe button, crank those notifications because you're not just watching, you're rising with us. Like this, comment your thoughts, share it with the wolves still sleeping. Let's wake them up. This isn't the end, it's the spark. Your villain era? It's your empire rising. Own it.